gentle pressure to start. So here, compressions on the glute medius and the glute max. Also pin my the palm of my hand on the top of this sacrum and gently push. Typically, I let my clients put their arms or any parts of your body where they're comfortable, but I'm gonna move this to the side since I'm gonna do a lot of pushing on the trapezius and stretch the muscles a little bit easier. And now I'm ready to use a massage cream. I've been using massage cream and massage oil interchangeably. Sometimes some client doesn't like the oiliness of a massage oil, which in my case I use jojoba oil, but massage cream is a little bit, less oily, and sometimes prefer that better. One of the things that I try to do when I apply the massage cream or the massage oil is to incorporate that as part of the massage. It's not just slapping it, just like that, or spraying the massage oil, squirting it directly to the client's body. I'm still spreading the massage cream. And oftentimes clients have pretty dry skin during winter time, so I would put a little bit more. And for this specific client, I think I just didn't put enough. I think it's pretty well spread on the areas that I'll be working on. The spinalis alongside the vertebrae, and later on rhomboids, major and minor, trapezius, and the neck muscle. All right, so I'm gonna start the whole length of the spinalis. And if you can see this, I use my thumb a little bit and the broad pressure of my palm, and starting with, I would say, medium pressure. And I don't know if you notice, I use a lot of my body weight to give adequate pressure to the client. Just lean onto it. And we never have to rush. Doesn't feel good when people rush. I would do this sequence, the same strokes, at least 3 times. So it could be 5 times, 6 times, depending on the amount of time that the client scheduled for. And then if that area is the problem area, you might want to do it a little bit more. And I increase the pressure towards the middle. Let's say I decided to do 10 times on the 4th all the way to the 8th. It might be a little bit deeper pressure, and then lighten up a little bit, just nice and firm, not feather light. One, last one. Then continue on the glute medius. Stretch it. And we'll do a little more detailed work on the glutes a little bit later. Start the lower back sequence. All right, and work on the other side. Same technique. You can see me leaning into it. Just want to make sure the angle of our wrist, that we don't injure ourselves. Is the pressure okay? Is that too much?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
That's good.
Also, sometimes we should ask our client how is the pressure, and sometimes I can feel if it's too much that they would flinch or tighten up. And the best is just to ask. And lighten up a little bit for 2 more strokes. Continue to the glutes. So if the client basically have come to you and they say, okay, I have issues with my lower back, the quadratus lumborum, the QL muscle, this triangulated part here on the lower back above the sacrum, I would use my thumb. Always support my thumb, stack it side by side, top one another to provide a pretty good pressure. And pinch, release, to do a little bit more detailed work and really focus pressure point. My client today actually requested a little bit extra work on the scapula, but for demonstration, I just want to show how I would focus on the lower back. And depending on the musculature of the person that you're working on. There's organs underneath there, but my client is pretty well built and I can absolutely do a little bit more pressure than most people. Okay, focus, and then broad pressure. Okay. I should not block the camera, but from a different angle. Center to lateral movement. Stack my thumbs. More power and injury prevention. Another pass from top to bottom. The next section, since we did all the lower back, I'm going to work on this section right now. One of the things that I've developed is just for ergonomics, for the therapist itself, I would put my thigh right underneath the opposite shoulder that I'm working on. So it's really easy for me to pull and provide enough pressure on the scapula, trapezius, and the rhomboids to work on this side. Well, you'll see as I do it. So, again, a lot of these things when we work on clients, every time we try to pull, they're, just can't make sure we don't want to pinch them. So push down and then pull up. So we're not pinching the skin and it does hurt. We do that. Bit of massage cream on the palm of my hand. And liberal application on the area in the neck. Side of the neck. Pull. Pull, pull. Still the application of the massage cream. Alternating pull. A lot of the power is from my own weight. So let it fall back. I can feel that now my client's muscles a little bit relaxed after that stroke. I don't remember how many that we did, but at least 5-6 times. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna hook my finger and then provide a little bit more pressure on the trapezius towards the neck, shoulder, lateral to the center. This is how I use my body to provide a little bit more pressure. Is this too intense?
No.
Okay.
Feels good.
I think I did about 5 passes. I'm gonna do a little bit of kneading. Long deep trapezius, up and down. And then in the rhomboid, which we will work on again as we sit at the head of the massage table, just warming it up. We can work on the side of the neck. Now that I'm already in this position, I'm going to also work on the shoulders, the anterior shoulders, middle, and a little bit of the posterior by doing some pulls. So we don't need to have too much oil or massage cream because that makes it very slippery. Actually, I put too much, it's a bit slippery. Apply it to other parts of the body. But again, I have to say that if we make those kinds of mistakes, I always feel that my clients don't know it. I just spread it out, and that will be part of your massage sequence. It still feels good when you spread it out and make every touch matters. So I'm pulling anterior delts all the way to posterior delt, pull and kneading strokes. All right. One of the things that at least is a real favorite stroke for me, down on me, is the top of the scapula, the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus. I'm going to let my client's arms hang over the table. And then pressure, broad, general pressure before we go deeper using our thumb with the scapula. Similarly to the QL muscle, I'm just going to stack my thumbs and push. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I really lock my thumb in this position and use my body to push. Sometimes if we just muscle it with our forearm or hands, it gets really tiring. Back, side. And just slide your thigh. Container massage cream, we don't want to double dip. I typically put enough massage cream for one client, just a little bit, not that much. It's a pretty good massage cream. And then oftentimes exactly enough. Once in a while I have to add a little bit more. So we don't want to be wasteful. Just scoop a whole lot. So as you can see, this container is pretty small. I think less than half an inch deep. Put that in the massage cream again. Warm up the area that we're going to be working on. Firm but not crazy hard as we start. Let the muscle get used to the movements. I'm starting to add a little bit more pressure now, not too much. Protecting my fingers as I hook the trap muscle, trapezius muscles. Okay, that was from front to back, anterior to posterior, and now the finger hook from the shoulder towards the neck. I think that was about 5 passes, and then not too much pressure with the kneading, firm but not crazy. And try to dance with every stroke that you do. You know, we move, we just do muscles of our arm, like going like that, going crazy. Rock your body. Make it like a dance. Your body will thank you for that. Okay, the delts. So depending on the tenacity and of course how built the muscles are. I mean, my client right now has some pretty solid delt muscles, so you just have to, you know, work on it. I mean, you just, sometimes you don't want to attack it crazy. I mean, like hard, like go. I would go gently, nice and firm after a couple of strokes, like 5, 6 times, depending how tight it is. Take your time, warm it up before you go deep. And also to go deep quickly, just doesn't make sense. It's a lot of work. Now I can feel becoming more malleable. And do some more detailed work, kneading. infraspinatus and supraspinatus to the posterior delt. And then you'll see different angles and work on the supraspinatus and infraspinatus. I'm really leaning above it so I can provide adequate pressure. Stack my thumbs. Try to lock it. Use my body weight. Is that okay? Not too intense? Excellent. Periodically check with your client. Typically I don't talk and I work with my clients, but of course it's a video. I'm just trying to verbalize what I'm doing. And I would ask them periodically. Because sometimes I feel that when somebody works on me, I mean, you can feel the trigger point, like right here. And if it's too much, all right. And before we end that area, firm broad pressure again. All right, so the final sequence on the top, on the upper back, is again the traps, rhomboid, major, minor, and the neck. I can feel there's a lot of cream already on this area, massage cream, and it feels pretty good. I can work on this and then not be pulling the skin. And I'm just gonna do that and not add more cream. It's like a perfect texture right now. Pull. Pull. Today I'm just gonna do a general overview. Sometimes depending if my client would mention about headaches and etc., I would do work also on the scalp, but we're not going to do that today. There'll be another video, okay? Pull. And then circular motion at the bottom of the cranium, the occiput area. Now, pinch. Do one more pass down and up. And now back up to the occiput. Okay. Now I'm going to work on the trapezius. So So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use my thumb, but again, remember your thumb is pretty small and you know it's prone to injury, and then I would support it with my fist. I'm going to do it this way. So I would move it, and to give adequate pressure, we need even support that way. So I can use my body to get a little bit extra pressure. There you go. I don't know if you've been noticing, I use a lot of my body, a lot of my torso to help with providing that extra pressure. And I'm flying it out with the bottom of your palm. Now stack your thumbs again. Squeeze again, what major, minor. I always adjust the position of my foot to make sure it provides me the best leverage to work, to do all this deeper work. Right. Gentler circles, but not as deep. My client today requested extra shoulder work, and I'm going to do some scapula pulls. I'm not sure it makes sense to anybody listening right now, but I made up that name, but I'm going to show you what I meant. So sometimes make sure that your client, some people have issues with their shoulder, and this might be very uncomfortable, but I've worked with this client before and it's not an issue for him. So you can see that the edge of the scapular, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to gently pull it away to provide a lot, increase the range of motion, and also provide some relief tightness to basically hook my fingers, pull, and once I get to that scapula bone, okay, pull, so from the vertebrae down, everybody looks different. I've had client who's very, I call it like a chicken wing move also, that is very prominent, the scapular bone. Some people, it's super flat, it's almost impossible to do this technique. So after that, what I do is use my forearm and go along this edge. Here. And we have to make sure we use our forearm not to overdo it, because it can provide a lot of pressure with the forearm. done right on the bone. It should feel good to the client. But be extra careful when you use your forearm. And we'll pass, okay? Pretty good. Sometimes when I want to shake it, I'll just, again, when we do this, make sure we don't pinch the client's skin. Go down, just shake it all back. All right, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna go on the other side. Okay, I just changed the angle of the camera. I'm gonna do the same thing, maybe not talk too much. And on this side, the client's my left, the client's right. Okay, same technique. And I always say, take your time when you do this. Do it slow. You don't have to muscle it in, just, you know, you wouldn't have the energy to finish a massage if you just let it go. Just let your hand, thumb slide. Stack thumbs. My client has very sensitive skin. You can see here there's a little bit of hyperemia from that push. I'm gonna use the chicken wings again. Right now you can see it from a different angle. Just get into sort of like a warrior pose with your foot, with your legs, and pull, and once you hit that scapula bone, pull. 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 Just pulling it all together. Lower back, glutes, upper back, neck. And we're done this section. So that's it, that's part 1 of the massage, all right? And after this, what we're gonna do in part 2, I'm gonna work on the lower extremities. So the calf, hamstring, and the glute areas, okay?